Welcome to the Brand Doctor Podcast, strategies that help entrepreneurs build reputable and profitable brands. Here's your host, Henry Kaminski Jr.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Henry Kaminski here from Unique Designz.net, and welcome to the Brand Doctor Podcast. Happy to have you guys listening in, and today we're going to talk about a very important topic. When it comes to branding, I'm going to share with you a quick little story that will help you stay narrow with your branding. What does that mean, staying narrow with your branding? Well, let me share with you a quick story. So I had a consultation call yesterday with one of my clients who is actually in a mastermind group with me, and he understands that I eat, sleep, breathe branding, and he asked for an hour of my time. So we got on a Skype call, and he presented his current brand to me and told me what he was looking to do. And he was all over the place. He had 5 or 6 different things going on, and he said, how can I wrap this into one neat little packaged brand that will affect my audience emotionally and really get them to understand what it is that I actually do and how I could actually help them at the highest level. So I begin to ask him several questions. Who does he want to work with? Who does he not want to work with? What does his brand stand for? I asked him to share with me his backstory, and he let all that out. But there was this one little dinger out of everything that he said to me that really, really stood out. And it was that he was able, through all of his past success, he was able to control his income. And I don't know about you guys, but when I first started my business, I let my income control me. And that was a big problem. And I think a lot of us, when we work or try to develop our brands from that position, it really is from a scarcity side of things. It's coming from a scarcity mindset, right? Where, we don't know where the next buck's going to come from, right? So let's just take every job we can possibly get, and whether or not we like the client or not, or whether or not they're a qualified client, let's just take the client, right? So I can go down that rabbit hole, but I won't. But this man was extremely successful in controlling his income, and he created this podcast. That alone generates $250,000 a year in advertising spend. So this guy was really tuned in. I mean, this guy was successful and had a really, really interesting backstory. He had a military background, pretty rugged childhood growing up, but, overcame it all, got into business and got really, really successful pretty quickly. And so he was sharing with me all of that, and I said, there it is. There's your one thing. You are a master at being able to control your income. And I don't know about you, bud, but all of us want to be able to control our income. So you should have saw his face when we were on Skype. He was like, oh my God. It's like he saw the epiphany happen right before his eyes. He was like, yes, that is what I want to be known for. And so it was funny. We got into some more conversation, and he said something, and I said, are you sure you want to do that? And he says, what do you mean? Why? I said, well, the people that you told me you want to serve, they don't care about that. They care about controlling their income. Completely gave him a piece of clarity that he was not thinking about. And he was like, wow. He's like, that's why I hired you for the hour, bud. So I helped him get narrow with his branding. And when you stay narrow with your branding, you get to be known for something. I'll share with you a quick personal experience. So when I was starting out with my Facebook Lives every day, about a year ago, I came out very emotional, very inspirational, very motivational, right? And people were coming up to my wife, and people were friends and family asking her, what's up with Henry? Like, what is he doing out there? I mean, I love his videos. They're super inspirational. They're super motivational, but he's a designer. Like, what, I don't get where all this is coming from. And so I'll never forget it. I did my first Facebook Live. I was a nervous wreck. It was like 11 o'clock at night on a Sunday, and I'm sitting on my couch, and I started to get emotional because I started to let out the reasons why I was putting all that out there. And it was to motivate and impact and inspire other entrepreneurs that were following me, to help them motivate their business and their brands, right? And eventually what I decided to do was stop confusing my audience and begin to really wrap around the branding side of things. And I got really, really clear on what it is that I wanted to be known for. And that's a branding consultant. That's a consultant that has spent the past 10 years of his life dedicated to digital marketing, design, branding, and help my clients either rebrand themselves, recreate themselves, or create a brand from scratch. We just finished up a awesome launch with Carlo Andino from Top Consulting. She's a successful businesswoman down in Honduras, and we did a phenomenal job with her branding, and she was able to launch yesterday, and it was just it was a beautiful day, right? So anyway, staying narrow with your branding will really help people understand what it is that you're known for and how it is that you can help them solve their problem. One of the two things people are starving for these days. It's the truth and simplicity. If you can break things down for your audience in a simplistic manner, and you can stay super clear on what it is that you want to be known for, you will have an abundance of clientele. You will take control of your income, and you will start to really take your brand to the next level. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you got some value out of it. And please, if you haven't yet, leave a comment or a review under this episode. And I hope my goal is for you to implement everything that you hear on this podcast, because that is what's going to move the needle and take your brand to the next level. So I'll catch you on the next episode, guys. Hope you have an amazing day, and stay tuned for more great value from the Brand Doctor podcast.
You've been listening to the Brand Doctor Podcast with Henry Kaminski Jr. To get your appointment with the doctor, visit Brand Audit at www.uniquedesignz.net.